Hello, hello, welcome back to episode 9 of Gilganos playing Dawntrail. Last time we defeated Oligamanda, right? Yes, it was last time. Yeah, we fought the big bird, the first trial of the expansion. It was cool, not too difficult, but it was fun. Good music. We saw Tural in action finally. Actually, well, I didn't really see too much. But he is a Viper as it seems, which makes sense because he has two swords, right? We had one gemstone for the Feet of Ice, which we couldn't do because Valigamando got released by Bakul Joja, as it seems, right? That little prick. Today we're going to... Lakhui, Tokhui, Tak, Lakte, Tekhei, I don't know. The forest area, right? Beautiful forest is ahead of us, as it seems. So yeah, I can't wait for that. So let's go, go, go. Aerial strike incoming! Yay, we can fly. Alrighty. The promise of peace. Arenville would propose a course of action. I think it's time we returned to Tuliolal after scaling Tural's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast to the death. Even dauntless heroes like you could probably use a rest. Not really, no, I just had a rest actually. Also I sunbathed a little bit on the top of the temple over there. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid down in the saga. The respite would be most welcome. I believe I hear the 4-hour cabins calling our names. Oh, yes. I really want to go on vacation in Tural now. Hiking vacations in Tural. Oh my god, that would be so gorgeous, so nice. I think I really need to go to South America at some point. You know, like hiking in Ecuador or something like that, or Chile, Peru. Oh, I love this. Oh, it's so good every time you teleport in the drum solo. There are still 2 feats left to go. We want to face them refreshed and ready for action. Only 2 actually, yeah. Oh, I want to... No to clean sheets and a soft pillow. Oh god, yawning is contagious. No sooner did we set foot back in Tuliolal than I felt the weight of recent events set in all at once. I'm definitely due for a long nap. I kind of feel like I won't get a nap here. Because I never get, but well, whatever. I'll take the opportunity to think on some things. Rest well, everyone. We can meet back here later on. Let's go to the beach! No, actually, not really. I have a small errand in the city to run in the city. I'll leave you to recover. Wait, did I not talk to Vuklamat? I'm not sure. Will you be heading to the palace, Vuklamat? Vuklamat? Did you hear me? Lost in our own little world, it seems. Well, no matter. I'll be back soon enough. An attendant is standing by to unlock your cabin. Enjoy your stay. The best way I know. He seems to be in thought. Welcome back, Mistress Tunchi. Your cabin is just as you left it, minus a light layer of dust. Thank you. I hope you also washed my, like, bed clothes. That's somebody called, right? Bed, you know what I mean. Bed laundry. Who is interrupting me? Is it Alice with a big paper bag of hamburgers? No, Vuklamat.
You have a moment?
You don't get on the bed. I don't want any cat hair on my bed. I know how that feels. I need to... bed sheets, of course. I need to change my bed sheets once every week. Because of cat hairs.
There's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Sure.
So,
Don't worry, I know that you get seasick. Yes. The heck? Okay, let it out.
It's just to stop stuffy in here, that's what.
Okay.
We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
Because we haven't been walking in fresh air like all this time anyways. I just came in. I wanted to take a nap. Come on. Also, that's huge. Well, I guess that might be huge people coming in here. Sorry to drag you away from your nice, comfortable cabin, but I could feel the walls closing in. Okay. Oh, I know. I'll take you to one of my favorite places in Tural. That should that should help me get my thoughts in order. We'll go to the Resplendent Quarter and make our wave up from there. Don't tell me I gotta do the jump puzzle again. So? Kashiwa, what are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better? It's much healed now, so don't make a fuss. Besides, I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out here fighting your... I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out here fighting your hardest to win throne. You're the claimant with the greatest love for peace. Why is the camera zooming in on the turban? I love this nation of ours, and lending you my support is the least I can do. When I see you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? Oh ho ho! There's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can recruit a whole battalion of smiling faces if you think it'll help. Yours alone is more than enough. Thank you, Peshiwa. Thank you, Third Promise. I shall pray for your success in the contest. All those smiling faces. Ah, sorry, Yomi. I'm getting distracted. It's just that with the progress we've made in the contest, even these everyday encounters feel that much more special. Do you think we can take our time and maybe wander around a little first? Then we can head to the spot I was thinking of. Can I just cut to the point? I really want to get a nap in. That's right in front of the Dunza.
This is much better. I used to come here all the time when I was little. I'd look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small. Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor?
Help me out
That
here.
I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural?
Yes.
Well, I've been thinking a lot since then. About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far.
The festival.
I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others.
Okay.
Life has its ups and downs, but the company of family and friends, And the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living. And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace.
How peaceful is your country on the smiley face scale? That's the sort of thing I'd expect you to say.
Really? I feel proud somehow. It's an answer I arrived at by trying to be true to myself. That you think I succeeded, it means a lot. So, this is my plan. When I become
I thought you would be jumping, oh my god.
Peace, our people will live together in happiness.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
Just like Kryl said. By taking the time to hear their concerns, understand their feelings, and consider how best to serve, with each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be. It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence. I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies.
I can agree to that, yes.
If you
He's so
weren't for you all
surprised.
listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time.
And that's exactly what Gulu Jaja thought of when he allowed, you know, like the recruitment of allies from everywhere, right?
There are 2 keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me?
I mean, it's 2 keystones, but we still need to find the City of Gold. Don't forget that. I mean, it's kind of interesting that all the contestants now seem to be reducing this scavenger hunt on just getting the keystones when you still need to find the City of Gold, right? I mean, it might be that in the end it's just completely clear where we need to go once we have all the keystones, but it might also be that, you know, like, getting the 7 keystones is the easy part.
Well, I've nothing else to get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the cabins.
Great! Can I now get my nap? Thanks for dragging me up here, so that I just have to walk all the way down again, I guess. Yeah, I guess she finally got her nap. Oh, that's a... Why? What the heck? Why is she lying like that? Dead. Local hero died in bed. Yeah, she sleeps. She sleeps with an open mouth. Interesting. Ignore the, you know, like the rips and tears in the fabric of that pillow over there that the horns made. To be fair, I could not sleep with a open veranda like this. Imagine all the insects flying all about. Eee. But I guess small insects don't really exist in that world, right? Actually, they do, right? Isn't there like bee swarms and stuff? You look to be in good spirits. I assume your leisure time was well spent. Yep, nice nap. I was glad to snatch some quality sleep myself. After all, it will soon be back off to the road for us. Peaceful intentions. A lead to Yak T'el. Oh yeah, that was the name of the forest. Alfina seems eager to review your journey thus far. Why? I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Doralja and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wuklamat would be equal with them but for Bakul Jaja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. That conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. You may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I will be taking back what is mine, this I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakul Jaja's unleashing of Valigamanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. What? I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamulja and Shpral in the forest of Yak T'el, specifically near a village called Ikbraj. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Well, that's Galuf, probably. He also has or Kettenram. Oh wait, it is the saga, so it's Kettenram. Galuf was way later, of course, yeah. He also has a similar tale, and the explorer Kettenram befriended a 2-headed king known as the Autarch before commencing his travels across Tural. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least, that is the commonly held belief, but of course we know that he's actually went to the City of Gold and is now trapped there, because nobody can leave the City of Gold. Your 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Kettenram fellow must have come to Tuli Yolal. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yokhui architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch, didn't you? Then Kettenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk, is that a city? Yeah, we've heard it multiple times before. I'm not sure if first I thought it was like the people, then I thought it was like an order or something, and then maybe it was a place because Bakul Jaja is the chosen of Mamuk, right? Whatever that means. Maybe because it's 2-headed? Huh. I've heard that multiple times before and I'm still wondering what exactly that is. One of the grandest in Tural, once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamulja's homeland. Ah, it too lies in Yak T'el, not far from Ikbraj, so it's a city. And probably that's where Bakul Jaja hails from, right? And probably the tournament was in Mamuk as well. And I am assuming now that Gulul Jaja also hails from Mamuk. That will make sense. Yes. Okay. Then all things considered, Yak T'el seems the obvious choice for our next destination. Yeah, both feet seem to be there, right? From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once the preparations are complete. We're riding one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Personally, never been on a balloon, I have to say. On a hot air balloon or anything. But I mean, they're probably not gonna be as wonky as a ship, depending on, like turbulences, I guess. I don't have much issues with airplanes. Airplanes, once they're in the air, I have no problems traveling on airplanes. The bigger the better, though. I don't like the landing part of airplanes, though. Starting is not really the problem. But the landing part, it just always goes down a little more, and then there's some turbulences and stuff. That turns my stomach around. For as much as I wish we could ignore him, Bakul Jaja is a real threat. We can't afford to let our guard down. Yak T'el, where the Yokhui dreamt of the Golden City. I wonder if we're gonna smoke some weed and then also dream of a Golden City. Ready to leave when you are. Oh, exciting! The design of Tural dirigibles intrigues me. I must note down how they perform compared to Eorzean airships. It'll be fine. Just fine. They look pretty much like the Ixali balloons, though. Well, the Ixali balloons have the second balloon somehow on top, right? And also the Eorzean airships, I guess. Well, Eorzean, it's more of a... Actually, it's Gollemaldian. Gollemalding airships, right? I'm not sure it was... Nah, I'm right. Was it the... I'm not even sure who built the first airships in Eorzea, if it was Sid's company, what was his name? You know what I mean. Or if they had airships before that. The next flight to Yak T'el will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. Please straighten up your seats. And fasten the seatbelts. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air? All the way to Yak T'el? Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Are you ready? Bags packed and a goodbye said? There's no going back once we lift off. Not that I'm nervous or anything, I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. You want some chamomile tea? You know, that tends to calm the nerves. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Oh, just until I've settled my nerves. Oh, maybe ask Aaron will. That stick in the mud? He'd never let me live it down. There she is! Third promise, wait just a moment. Hey, it's Mablu and Tobli. Mablu and Tobli, of course. I'll wait as long as you need. and a few minutes longer, please. Sorry to delay you, but we were able to discover the origin of Kryle's earring. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Tural as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right, we tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at market some 20 years ago. That's her grandsire. Little did he know the charming taste of salt would prove to be commercial triumph. Foreign mage wearing this earring could only be my grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yak T'el, to where it seems you are already bound. Interesting, so it might be that her earring is like the original, right? While all the others are most likely copies. So it might be that her earrings actually is a magical ward of some sort. Maybe connected to the Golden City, who knows? One in Yak T'el, to where it seems you are already bound. But look, then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather here? Or yet another discovery to look forward to? Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the ride. Thanks, I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passenger. Last call for passengers to Yak T'el. Please go to boarding gate 7. Last call for passengers to Yak T'el. Passengers to Yak T'el, please board now the dirigible at gate 7. Bye. I really hope she wins. Yak T'el will test her mettle without a doubt. No, it's the dirigible that will test the mettle, not Yak T'el. The next Dawntrail must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be. Oh, historical weight. Intriguing. Oh, look at it.
Fierce Shepral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yak T'el.
It's Shipral, not Sprawl.
Battered
Okay.
by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named.
Just want to say, I love that we finally have a mystical forest like this in Final Fantasy XIV. I think we've been kind of lacking of places like that so far.
It is here where the
Poor
Shepral and
Uklamat.
Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Yak T'el. Cat is meowling.
Are you all right?
No.
I've never been good with heights.
Oh, heights and shaking. I see. Actually, that's man, that's also the thing I don't like.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozumautka.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
Cenote.
Cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
Okay. Everyone's looking at her.
It was one time.
Is the Shepral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Okay. Go west.
Can't
Life
stay
is
with
peaceful
these
there.
forever. Let's get going.
Well, that journey was delightful. The wind was fair and the vessel hardly rocked at all. Let's see if Uklamat is the same opinion, shares that opinion. I can hardly fathom how difficult travel must have been before the second promise introduced dirigibles. Can you imagine having to walk all this way? Worry not. Kryl and I will ensure our promise doesn't wind up at the bottom of one of these cenotes. Cenotes. Would it kill Aaronmill to give me the benefit of the doubt? Or the benefit of a second chance? I guess so. With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. And they all disappear from sight. Isn't that nice? For all of Aaronville's insistence, I have yet to discover anything particularly blue about this forest. True so far. Except for the Aetheryte over there. Take care not to get separated. I'd hate to lose you to this rampant undergrowth. See? No tumbles. Thanks to Kryl and Alice, but it still counts. Is that Ikbrash over there, I wonder? Good. Everyone's accounted for. Ikbrash is up ahead. Let's be in our way. What's so blue about this forest? What's so blue about this forest? You'll see. Are all cenotes this deep, I wonder? That's a cenote? Huh, okay. Ha! I've fallen into High Tide Harbor enough times to be a professional diver. There's no way I'd fall into something like this on accident. Just so you know, I shall be very cross if you push me. Now I do want to push her. Aaronville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully we made it here without incidents. Let's not dally any longer. 663. Almost there. Village of the Hunt. Vuklamat's attention is divided between the perilously deep cenote and Ikbrash. Ready to head on in? Sure. Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. The Ted promised in the retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant Selector. Oh yeah, there's one here as well. I forgot. I almost forgot. And then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him. Is it like all the claimants? Also, let me lick the Etherite first, please. It is all of them, actually. Wow. And why were they waiting? Couldn't they have started without me?
We are graced by the presence of the third promise.
Yep, we're here. Just in time.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with Ligarmanda in the first place.
Well, okay. That would have been a nice idea, you know?
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any
Libra.
idea how many could have been hurt?
He doesn't care.
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name
After you.
is Hunmuruk. As a brass rash, I have the honor of serving as a lector on behalf of my people.
Mm-hmm. Too wet. These wet wet
As
tissues
all
are
four
too wet.
claimants must be present for this feat. We have eagerly awaited your arrival.
Why must all be present? Are we fighting each other? Oh yes, please. Or maybe we have to do something in pairs.
If you would please join us.
Don't just wave at me, traitor. I'm still mad at him because he made a tunnel collapse while in front of us, not above our heads. Okay, but
Thus
still.
far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat
Oh,
of
it is.
Repast, however,
A
will
cooperative
test
one.
your cooperation. You must complete this challenge. In
Ah,
teams of two.
okay. Let me guess, we're gonna get paired with Bakul Jaja. Wouldn't that be nice?
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Yep.
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner.
Okay, so I guess we're getting paired with Kona then. Interesting. That's weird. Because that would mean that either two claimants can automatically not win the contest, except by, of course, stealing the gemstones from the others.
Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Alright, let's see. Interesting how different Zoralja walks to
12 forbid
Bakul Jaja.
Art is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Let's just split his head apart in two. So what if we do get paired with Bakul Jaja and then lose?
Please present your colors. I
Red.
have red. Blue.
Interesting. So it's either gonna be Kona or Zoralja.
On separate teams then. And the rest?
Kona. That's
means
that's probably the most boring outcome, honestly.
Together again, as fate would have it.
I would have much preferred a dynamic between Zoralja and Vuklamat or Bakul Jaja.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
It's just like, yeah, you know, we do have Uriange's voice actor here. He does have to say a few sentences in this expansion because his contract says so. So let's just have him proclaim this.
Not the one head.
Come on, you would have said the same about anyone else. Zarulja is probably the one you are the least against working with.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Chebral cuisine. Shibruk Bibil.
Okay. With no hairs in it, please. Or scales. That sounds stupid.
Now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
I agree.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
No, they're just hungry.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say? Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The
Sure, I
peoples
mean-
we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink.
In, for example, Swiss cuisine, right, which is mostly potato and cheese based. Well, of course, potatoes only since they have been imported from South America. Then again, Switzerland as a country only exists since the 19th century, right? 19th century. Right? Yes, okay. I was just like, wait a second. 1848 was the official founding of Switzerland as a nation, I think. Of course, you know, like the cantons of Switzerland existed earlier. Actually, yeah, I do kind of wonder. Because Swiss cuisine is mostly based on potatoes and cheese, right? Because that's what, as far as I know, what the shepherds and, well, it's not really shepherds, but you know, like the, what are they called? You know, the people that watch the cattle in the Alps, right? Were eating because it was just easy to bring up there and eat up there because they had like, I mean, they could make cheese on the Alps anyways, right? Because they had the goats, the sheep, and the cows around to make cheese up there, and they just melted the cheese, which is raclette and fondue, which is like the two prime examples of Swiss cuisine, right? And to both of those, you often get served not only bread for fondue, but also potatoes, like not really cooked potatoes, right? It's like steamed potatoes, I think, maybe, right? And also rösti, of course, which is the next Swiss dish, I would say, is also, I mean, it's potatoes, you know, like cut in small pieces and then fried, which is all things that people on the Alp were able to eat easily. So it reflects the culture, the Swiss culture of having your cattle graze in the Alps, in the mountains.
The Hanu Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living.
A beverage is just drink stuff, though.
So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
Mm-hmm.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
How about combining it? He looks bored.
The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibrook Bivil will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques.
This is a little confusing because he says the first team. But I guess the important thing is the satisfactory Shibrook Pibil. So you don't. It's not a race. It's just like if you fail, you can try again. I guess that's what the first team to prepare. What this is implying is it's not about the first team wins, as long as it is satisfactory. But the first team to prepare a satisfactory dish, which means you can try and try again if you don't succeed. Okay.
Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you.
Oh, dang actually.
Let the feet of Repast
That's why I usually read
begin.
what they're saying and don't just listen to them, because whenever they finish a sentence, it's like, oh, okay, then maybe at the end of the, and then I was like, oh no, there's more than that. Dang. Yeah, have fun. Don't think any of them has any cooking skills. Bye. So why do we have to do this in pairs? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, sure, you can always do something in pairs, but it's like, there's no need for cooperation here. Bakul Chacha can literally just sit on his arse and let Zarulja do the whole job. There wasn't like anything in the rules that they actually have to, you know, like, help each other, which is a little weird. But the pairings to be thus decided, the stars align for us indeed, says the astrologian. As much as I would have loved to defeat you all in a high-stakes culinary battle, I couldn't have asked for better allies. The first promise and Bakul Jaja are formidable on the field, but in the kitchen, I think the odds are in our favor. Well, are Vuklamat and Kona any better? Especially Kona, who has lived in Sharlayan with, you know, like, Sharlayan cuisine. I consider myself a connoisseur of all things tasty and Turali, but this is the first I've heard of Shibrook Pibil. Okay, so it's not only about cooking it, but also about, you know, like, finding out what it actually is, finding someone to tell us the recipe, etc. Only 2 claimants can receive keystones from his feet. Intimidating perhaps, but irrelevant. We shall prevail. I find it a little strange, I have to say. Especially because they had to wait for all of us. What if someone was like, no, let's just do the last 2 first? This doesn't make any sense. And then they came here and it's like, oh no, we need to wait until everyone is here. It's like, beg your pardon? Then again, it would be like, oh yeah, okay, then I just do all the other 6 first and come here last, because everybody else needs to wait here for me anyways, right? The second promise will no doubt have thoughts on how best to proceed. Let us ask his perspective. Do you suppose the first promise and Bakul Jaja will wear matching aprons? I dearly hope so. Alize! Whoa, 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 girl! Come on! I know they're impressive and muscular, but I mean, how old are you? Well, I guess old enough. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Actually, why didn't we just bonk him on the head, take back the gemstone? I don't get it. Why are we just, like, he's there? Why not attacking him? We gotta do it at some point anyways, right? So that's good as a time as any. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty. Yeah, that's what I wonder as well. But maybe he's actually all bluff, all bark no bite. I mean, he's obviously stronger than Vuklamat. Actually, is he? Maybe he's just really well armed with his skin. I mean, he stood no chance against Zarulja, obviously. He's plenty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I've been asking as well, right? Why doesn't he? It should be easy for him. Even the bringing the pot thorn should have been easy, actually. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see our team possesses a distinct advantage. Ah, of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Right. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition is a team of 6, the 2 claimants, Sarilja and Bakulja just lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. It's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. But we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Shibruk Pibil. We can hardly get the ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Shibral people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. Who might I talk about? Colorful spices, light-hearted lady. This should be all I need. Good and ready, you hear? Oh, you aren't here for that? Apologies, I get people breathing down my neck constantly, like they don't realize a proper meal takes time. Steal them! A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called Akyoti. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Akyoti, you see. Fastidious fellow. The recipe for Shibruk Pibil, I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything, orders from Humuruk himself. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still Ibruk to be had at market. So Ibruk Akyoti. I should write that down. Well, if I would be Yomi, if I was Yomi, I should write that down. We ought to cut the losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. Oh, that's the goons. You're the fool if you think we won't tan our hides for leather. If he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Aye. There won't be a second time, believe me. What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business, why salt liquor? I'm literally from across the salt. Why does it make me a salt liquor? I mean, I like salt, that's not a problem. Cheerful cook. Bright banana peel. Wait, can I run over this? Ah, too bad. Wouldn't have that be fun if they programmed that in. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. Oh no, it appears I've gone one... Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my nodule. I mean, Chatika banana peel. I could barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Thank you. It's kind of mean to have, like to prepare a dish without a recipe, basically. It's just like, yeah, I mean, we still don't know how much of each we need, right? It's like, okay. Sorry, I'm back. What did you discover about Shibruk Pibil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Shibruk Pibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Shibral dishes, Akyoti she called it. Yeah, me as well. I see, then if Shibruk Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alfino claims, ubiquitous? We have confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of najul, or banana, in certain localities. Would seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I didn't even have anything to do with that. They all figured that out anyways as well. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? Shibruk? Sizzling slab of beef. It smelled so good I could practically taste it. The squeaky flesh of a bipedal fish. Shibruk, without a doubt. Is that a meat? As would be expected of a dish called Chibruk Pibil. Ah, Ibruk, I see. Indeed. So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibruk, flavored with a combination of spices that includes akiote and steamed underground within najul or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forests while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Ha! Leave it to a master gleaner! And that is that we probably do have huge advantages in this feat, yeah. So I do wonder what Zuralja will be doing. I mean, it's obviously what Bakul Jaja is planning, but I wonder if Zurul Jaja is gonna be like, yeah, sure, we're not gonna do this anyways, so let's just steal it from them. Or if he's actually trying. Maybe he actually knows the dish, and maybe he can actually cook, who knows, right? With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. This is such a running gag, man. His firewood gathering skills are off the charts. I too should be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibruk if they will perform the requisite deed. Alize? Wait, what am I doing? As for the Najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in the Jatilka heartland forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati, Yomi, if you would accompany me on my errand. Sure, it's not like my skills would be better used somewhere else. No better way to whet my appetite. Good, let us be about our tasks then. The base slaps so hard on this. Come on, let's go and get those Najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. Ooh. Amati had no specific task assigned to her, so I had her accompany me, no more no less. And like, yeah, nobody wants her to do anything, right? Maybe that wasn't what they were thinking of. A history of violence? Yeesh. Kono has the look of a man intent on finding bananas. How does a man intent on finding bananas look? Okay. Let us see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Oriange mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. The earth here is indeed fashioned into an oven of sorts. Fascinating. An underground oven? This must be the cook Oriange was talking about. Yeah, I was also here. Like they just set a fire and then they close it off with a carpet or something and they bury it in with earth and rubble. And then they steam it. Okay. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? I would like some Najul leaves, please. If you would sell us any. Najul leaves, for purposes other than Chibruk Pibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I've just used my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forests for more. Golmachik Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in the city markets can't compare. Oh yeah, right, it was also a test of taste, right? So, and quality and stuff. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Chitika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tienberg Traverse, but it has caved in due to the recent storm I expect. What? But that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Or maybe we're wrong with the recipe. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Shibru people to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Okay, why that? I can't wait. Still, if there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? We plant them ourselves and wait for 10 years until the trees have grown and we can actually harvest the leaves. These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolal. But perhaps there is something about Sheebruk people that we have yet to learn, something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who has the first to make it? Who was the first to make it? It's history, that sort of thing. Yeah, it might actually be that, you know, like, the use of Najul leaves wasn't originally in the recipe, right? And they just replaced something else that maybe was harder to get or something. If it's Yak T'el's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Tural and the Mamulja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, and the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Sheebruk Pibil. Huh? What does deemed Ibruk have to do with bloodshed? Well, you have to kill an Ibruk for that, I guess. Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by war, the village of Ilion Asor. It lies a short distance to the east. Okay, thank you a lot. Support the first and second promise. The village of Ilion Asor. Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. I love how dense this forest is. Actually, it's not super dense, right? I mean, I guess we have the Shire, not the Shire, the Shroud, Black Shroud. But the trees there are so high that you can't really see all the leaf work, right? Oh, look at how gorgeous this is, oh my god. You know, as long as there's no spiders and scorpions and snakes and whatnot. And insects, mosquitoes. As there would be in the real place, right? I would love to swim in a little lake like this. Oh my god, look at this. Crystal clear water. Everyone knows there was a war between the Mamulja and the Tural, but I may have forgotten some of the details. The village of Ilion Asor must be further east. Let us continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels. The village of Ilion Asor. Oh yeah, it was destroyed by the war, right? Pretty small village. This place feels forgotten by time. So this is the village of Ilion Asor, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Vukevu. Vukevu! I didn't know you were in Yak T'el. I was picking up lumber from Ikbrash when I heard the third promise was on our way to the site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service and so followed you here. Vukevu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure. You are a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume? Are you kidding me? For the moment, I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh god, he's gonna crack down again. Kona, now that's a good name, a familiar name. Where have I heard? Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolal. To think that I addressed the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Imagine he would be doing that to... Well, Soralja probably wouldn't mind. And Bakulja isn't of royalty, right? So, Alright then, I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue. At least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about Shibruk Pibil, while I am forbidden by the Shibrag Rocks. Shibraj Raj. To divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Yak T'el's history. Oh, we'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Shibral and Mamulja was one of land. The Mamulja live in the lower forests where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Shibral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Shibral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand. The Mamulja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Bunewa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged the Shibral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hubigo and Bunewa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. Because that's how babies were made, that's how Gulul Jaja came to life, I guess. It was long believed that partners of different clans could not have children together. Then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bunewa both, a two-headed Mamulja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first Autarch, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Autarch's rule, the newly united Mamulja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. Think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. So maybe we actually don't have an advantage. Maybe the Mamulja, Sarulja, and Bakul Jaja actually have an advantage here. Maybe they actually know how to do it. Maybe they've actually cooked and eaten it before, right? Cinderfield. Okay, why did nothing regrow here? Interesting. By the 12. Wait, are you also worshipping the 12? Oh no, he's a... yeah, probably from Sharlayan, right? What happened here? I'm so... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm so intrigued as to what the second trial is gonna be. I have no idea. None.
This is where most battles
False.
were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja. The Shobrit Cinderfield.
It might be Eliminator, right? Although, I think Yoshida said that Eliminator would be a boss, not necessarily a trial, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be a dungeon boss or a trial. I would assume it's probably more, it's a dungeon boss, because, you know, like, Anima was a dungeon boss as well, although everybody thought it was a trial, right? So I'm assuming that they probably want to, you know, like, keep the second trial hidden, and the third one, of course. Well, most battles were fought. Interesting, so they had multiple battles here. Huh.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been. The war over these lands began after the Yorqui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter. Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
I became the first Autarch.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, The Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Echo time! Yay! Always gotta love that.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Buff your tails and scurry off then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest.
That's a Roger?
One of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives.
The Roger is old, he said, right? So it might actually be him.
Tell me, do you know
Or they just use the same
of
one.
a vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us.
It's weird because he looks exactly like Bakul Jaja.
Not
We've never
until
seen...
those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
I mean, I'm not sure if we actually have seen him talk at some point. But it's like weird. It's just whenever I see his face, I just think Bakul Jaja is talking.
He's from across the
I mean, I know
ocean.
it's not Bakul Jaja, but it didn't like my... It's like, yeah.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
A big ship.
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
You're all gonna die.
You do not
To illness,
know the
probably.
warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why is it suddenly 8 now? And none of them is the enigmatic maiden. Well, I guess we didn't see Gerfelger previously.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, We only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Aye.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
By just doing it.
Ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
An evening? Oh, that's a whole lot of time, right?
And so
Not sure who that
began
was.
that
I didn't recognize
legendary banquet.
the garment.
One would not
It was a banquet
expect
indeed,
sworn
okay.
enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed Najul.
Then they combined it.
Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
In an overground oven.
That's
Well, not even an
Shiruki
oven.
Bill, I'd wager.
No, it was something entirely different. I just told the story because I like to tell stories.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife.
Ignorance begets the strife.
Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry.
It sounds so cheesy.
Just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd.
It's actually pretty
Somehow
common, I would
so
say.
very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
You know, like-
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Not like, of course, you just offer a dish and it's like, oh yeah, peace now. But, you know, like, I mean, usually signings of peace contracts and stuff are, you know, like, celebrated with feasts, right? So, kind of the same, I would say.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Yeah, but that doesn't really help
Absolutely.
with
Thank
the
you for sharing
Najul
the story
leaf
with us.
problem.
What's wrong?
There was someone spying at us, but I think they're gone now.
Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something
I see what you did
bitter
there.
and half-baked, no doubt.
I see what you did there. I never imagined our father was instrumental to Shibruk Pibil's invention. I hope I have been of sufficient service to the third promise. You have. Papa really did live up to his words. Traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures. And we're doing the same now. The feat of Repast. Bananas still weigh heavily upon Kona's mind. Oh, banana. Wook Evu has given us valuable insight into the origins of Shibruk Pibil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary Najul leaves. Unless... Tell me, was that historic feast commemorated in some fashion? With a monument, for instance? Ah, then it would probably be made out of very old Najul leaves, maybe. Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. What does Kona want with the monument? Well, it's... Wait. Is this the monument? Huh. There's no leaves there. It is only speculation, but I do dare to hope. Here it is. Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolize their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us through, especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamati, Yomi, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Look here, the soil has been recently overturned. Or maybe they just placed some leaves there for us to find, right? That would make sense. Oh, someone buried the box. Well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are, fresh Najul leaves. Unmuruk's doing, I'd wager. There's a poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war that they helped end. Ah, so he planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Wook Evu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. And with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well, Third Promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I have been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to the Hanuhanu's ailing crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliolal and what they hold dear. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. Bye, Wook Evu. Bye. I cannot argue with that. We have what we need. Let us return to Igbraj. What's that look, Yomi? You have to wonder whether Wook Evu is actually a historian and not a shipwright. Maybe it's both. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. How did everyone fare? We got the Najul leaves. Wook Evu came along and helped us find them. Wook Evu was here. I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. And now she retells the old tale. That Gulul Jaja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little, but to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions, but how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Oriange and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need, with no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I am pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had on offer. Spoken like a true expert. Arenville and I found our Ibrook, so we should have meat aplenty. We do need a lot of meat, you know, like for 9 servings. Probably rather like 11 or 10, 11 or 12. You know, like given Uklamots died, probably. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. Its hunter? What a part of never speak of this to anyone did you not understand? You're dead, Arenville. I picked a good portion of local herbs, with particular attention to the seeds that yield achioti. I am told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. Through further inquiry, did I determine the ideal balance of spices? You asked the stars. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts. Me, actually. Level 90. Actually, level 91. I can hardly claim profound skill, but I have cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. Why does the game not acknowledge me being a crafter? And you, I hope, as I recall, you are an accomplished culinary. Thank you, game! Thank you, game! Yes! There we go! Some appreciation is all I ever wanted as a crafter. Oh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay, then, let's cook! Oh, that was perfect timing. We cooked the whole night. Nice.
Oh, it smells so good.
Everything I cook smells
There
good.
is still time. I shall prepare our sample at
Meow.
once.
Oh, they made it.
At first, I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Yeah, sure.
Be quiet,
That's what I
Bakujaga.
said in the
No
beginning.
one cares what you think.
That's also true.
Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready.
Taco taco. What if they have something entirely different?
Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Shibruk Pibil.
That's clearly wheat tortillas and not banana leaves. But okay. Well, it's cooked in banana leaves. It's not served in banana leaves, I guess.
Looks amazing.
But nobody said anything about tortillas. Also, why do they get to taste it?
By using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Jabral. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then.
Insert a Hulk meme.
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Pibil admirably.
Thank you, Gordon Ramsay.
Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yak T'el's history of violence and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you.
And what about the others?
All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment.
Exactly.
Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
Oh, is he gonna be like, yeah, you both win? Oh no.
See.
Gordon Ramsay is mad.
While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Yeah, cutie.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Pibil.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
What that?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
We found leaves.
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
Increasing crusty old
Your
leaves
dish
can
lacks
make a whole lot
essential
of
ingredient.
difference.
As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards
He's gonna kill
family.
Baloo Jaja for sure.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
He's digging in.
It's delicious! The brook's so tender it melts in your mouth, and the way the Najuli rounds out these spices is sublime.
Sublime.
This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Don't rub it in too hard.
Choke on your harmony.
Come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I also want some tacos. I do have some
That was bliss.
mousse chocolat actually. I'm gonna dig in after this episode.
You've got real culinary talent.
I know, thank you.
If you ever tire of adventuring, you can always be my personal chef.
No, thank you. It's gonna be a long while until I'm done adventuring, I guess.
It was palatable enough, I suppose.
Soccer. You want some Arkan Loaf? I can also make Arkan Loaf if you want to.
To you, who have successfully performed the feat of Repast, I present these keystones.
Only one.
Banana, banana colored, of course. It's actually a, you know, like, do remember that we still need to get the keystone back from Baku Jaja, right? I still don't get it why we didn't already do that. We could have easily had, like, in like Thancred steal it back in the while they were cooking the thing, right, and stuff.
I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
We can do better than that, surely.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone.
I have to say, for the fact that they made such a huge fuss about, you know, like science being divided in all the lead up to, in all the letters from producer and stuff, there's been not a lot of actually clashing against each other yet. There was only this brief moment in the very first dungeon, right, where Thancred kind of closed off one possible path for us to take, but that's been nothing else. So there's not really a lot of division here that I can see. It's I mean, maybe it was just a red herring. It's more of a trope. I mean, it's actually stupid, because we know that in the end we're gonna work together anyways, right? It's not like they would be actually splitting the Science of the Seventh Dawn, even though, of course, we don't call us that anymore. So yeah, either I don't know, either there's got to be some, you know, like, actual clash incoming in the end with the last feat or after the last feat, or they just, you know, like, pull the fast one on us, I guess, because yeah, I haven't seen any actual competing against each other, I have to say. For the most part, we've been working together or just, you know, like, coexisting peacefully. So, but well, okay.
I forgot something important.
What? Something to drink? A beverage?
Was there any shipwreck people left? I could really use another helping.
What? That's what you forgot? Okay. Why did only Kona and Buklamat get to eat it? I thought we would have been serving it to anyone, to everyone, you know? That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Shipwreck people again. Here, Yomi, Kryl made me more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of Repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? We need to start considering how to reclaim that keystone from Baku Jaja. Yeah, good point. I'm relieved that our dish was well received. Depriving the first promise of a keystone is a crucial victory indeed. One final feat remains. After this one, I hardly know what to expect. To be honest, I'm not sure if that's true, Alpina, because it only means that he literally has to take a keystone from one of us. So he might just... Actually, I think it might be more possible that he steals it from Kona instead of Buklamat, because I do think he's kind of afraid of us. Well, not necessarily afraid, but I don't think he wants to clash, you know, like to cross swords with us. Well, me specifically. Well, we'll see what Soralja is gonna do. Shipwreck Pibil. Alright, unfortunately, this is where we're ending this episode of Gilganos playing Dawntrail already. Was another peaceful one. So next time we're finally gonna see the last feat being done, and then finally we're gonna see what happens after, right? If it is indeed gonna be a sad, devastating moment. I think the killing of Ulu Jaja is becoming more and more possible. Although I have to say, I mean, my initial thoughts were that Soralja would probably win, right? And then his father would be like, yeah, but you didn't I don't think you are fit to rule. You didn't show any interest in the history of our peoples and the culture, etc. So I'm not gonna yield my throne to you. And that because of that, Soralja would be mad and like just kill him to take the throne by force. But now that he actually seems to not going to win, except of course, actually no, I think actually he might just steal Kona's gemstone and still all of that to happen. And then of course Galul Jaja would have another. Actually, he might not just only steal it, but probably also injure him when doing so. I don't think it's gonna kill Kona because I don't think Kona's gonna die. But he might just be injuring him rather heavily. You know, like I mean, Kryl already foreshadowed Soralja is probably gonna do something against family, right? Although he did look towards Vuklamat, but I don't think he's gonna actually attack Vuklamat because we are with Vuklamat. Not because, you know, like, not necessarily because we are the Warrior of Light, but because we are the protagonists in the game, right? So it would be weird. We already had the sequence where Vuklamat was getting kidnapped. So I don't think they're gonna do that again, like, you know, like attack our promise that we are, you know, like, should be protecting. Except, of course, maybe there is actually a fight, Soralja against us. I guess there's probably gonna be one. Actually, maybe Soralja is gonna be the last trial, or the second trial. Not in his current form, of course, but you know, like maybe he finds the thing in the City of Gold and he powers himself up. That could be, right? You know, after going rogue, after killing Gululja. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I'm so looking forward to all that. I love theorizing about this. But that's my best cooking so far. Yeah, alright. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to always GG, and I really hope to see you in the next episode when things, as it seems, are starting to get a little more heated, right? So, see you then. Bye.